Hey, beautiful people. Andrew the Realtor here with the essential GTA housing market update for July 2023. We just had the interest rate increase yesterday, and you guys will want to stay tuned to the information I have to provide here. So some of this is going to address some people that are under duress and what they can do. And I'm actually going to go through the actual consequences, the actual effects of what the interest rates are going to be on your specific mortgage. So have a look real quick and do stay tuned. I have really, really good information specifically. I think you're going to go away with two things. One, you're going to be encouraged. Hopefully, and also you're going to be informed about very specific things that you can do next if you're looking to buy or sell. So here we go right away. So obviously, the month of July 2023, we'll be discussing June 2023, last month's market stats, which are very interesting, by the way. Mostly interest rates. Obviously, that's the topic. The interest rates have gone up recently, a day ago, for the July meeting of the Bank of Canada, and homeowners are under duress, and we'll discuss something shortly. The inflation. I want to look over the inflation. The numbers have not yet come out, but I want to show you guys the pattern and mention something about that. Actual effect, you're going to see the numbers. I did it myself, so you guys have the actual numbers of what a mortgage difference looks like. And of course, what is actually happening in the market versus what you'll be reading about in the media. I'm going to mention something that I've done many times in the past and kind of reiterating an interesting fact. So for the two parties I always address specifically because they might be acting is if you're thinking of buying, if you're more on the buy side, there are two reasons I'm going to show you why now is an amazing time to buy. Yes, I know the rates just went up. I discussed that just a second ago. It's a really, really good time. So please, if nothing else, stay tuned for that. You can fast forward it if you want. Totally up to you. Depends how much interest you have in the actual market numbers. And of course, if you're thinking of selling, there's an important difference between selling and buying and just selling. I'm going to talk about the timing of that specifically as well. So here we go. As always, I'm trying to provide value as much as possible. In fact, I'm going to minimize myself a little bit more here. So please hit like and subscribe. It does nothing for me other than it lets me know that you watched and lets you know next time I put out one of these for either your specific area for the GTA wide now or a listing or something of that nature. Honestly, really good information. I don't find it often online, which is why I do it this way. I know the quality is not the best, but I do my best. So hit like, subscribe. There's a program to check out to see if any of your neighbors are selling or selling and what they sold for. That's on there as well. And of course, you get the market update. So onward. Something very, very important. I was speaking to some folks that are struggling, well, not struggling, but they're starting to really feel the effects of the interest rates, specifically on variable mortgages. So I wanted to mention this specifically. So Consumer Watchdog and various guidelines to support at-risk mortgage borrowers. So some measures are waiving prepayment penalties. There's some specific things that are short-term in terms of penalties, internal fees, and those kinds of things that some lenders are waiving. This is a biggie. The last part, extending amortization. Some of you know this, some of you don't. If you or someone you know is struggling with the payments and legitimately having issues with it, they've always been well, responsible people, they're just not used to having 20 times the interest rate in about a year. So the difference is huge, especially for variable rates. There are lenders, many lenders, the big ones as well, that if you talk kind of not one-on-one, but if you speak to the actual mortgage person at the bank, you actually speak to the lender, you explain your situation. I have heard of several instances where the amortization, maybe you're a 25-year, maybe it's a 30-year, they actually extend it. Maybe 40 years, 50 years. I don't know the actual numbers because it depends on the situation. My point is this. I understand that there's going to be more interest paid. I understand the lender actually going to make more money out of this, which is, I guess, that's the job. That's what they do. But it'll minimize as best as possible the monthly expenses, which are really what's hurting people. The biweekly expenses that are really cutting into, the monthly living things. So people are closer and closer to being, not be able to pay their bills. So that's a biggie. So if this is you, talk to your lender. Give me if you want, give me a shout. I know people at different banks. Maybe you can talk to one of them. But the point is, there's something that can be done. So that's a biggie. Please pay attention to that. If nothing else you've done here and you're in trouble, you can do it. There's a way of extending the amortizations. So how is the interest rate actually affecting? So first of all, let's look at the history. This is crazy, honestly. It's historical. We went from last year, January of 2022, at a rate of 0.25. So a quarter of a point, that was the rate. That's where we started, January of last year. And now in July of 2023, after the most recent rate hike, heavens, don't get me started, we're at now 5%. So look at these rates. It's insane. It's an unbelievable 4.75% increase, which is uncanny. Now, I want to show you something that the actual numbers here. So look, I started at 2%, just as a guess. Just say you're in January of 2022, and this is your mortgage at 2%, and your mortgage of $1 million home, 20% down, $800,000 mortgage, you're paying almost $3,400 per month. That's what it would have been January last year. Now, same house, July of this year, this month, you're looking at a difference of almost $2,100 a month. Now, I understand some of the folks listening to this are financially capable, and certainly that may not put a huge dent in your monthly debt load. However, for some of you, and for a lot of people that will be watching this other than my clients, that's a lot of money. $2,100 a month is a lot of money for just mortgage. Never mind utilities, no other things that are more expensive now. Groceries, as a good example. So that's a big difference. That's the overall difference. Now, I'm going to get into more specific differences of the most recent interest rates. Inflation. So inflation, very important to follow. This is one of the reasons they say they're going to curb inflation. Well, last month we had information. July 18th, we're still in the middle of July. On July 18th, we're going to find out what the inflation numbers are for June last month of this year. But the last number we actually do have is 3.4%, which was in May of 2023 this year, and that is the lowest since April of 2021. So clearly the way was downward. We had one uptick in April of 0.1 up for some reason, and then again we got down to 3.4. I would not be surprised if inflation is under 3% right now. If it's up at all, and I guarantee you, if it is go up, it'll more than likely be largely due to the fact that interest rates are so high. And as some of you know, I mentioned in last month's update that the interest rate, the payment for interest in a mortgage is included in the formula for CPI, for inflation. So if the monthly payments are higher, means inflation goes higher. So the whole point of lowering of the interest rates initially was to lower inflation, but the interest rates are actually increasing inflation because they're part of the formula, which makes things very convoluted and makes me think that perhaps some people aren't fully on board with good intentions, or maybe they don't know what the heck they're doing. Always a possibility. July 18th, we're going to find out what the inflation numbers, hopefully, God willing, they're lower. Maybe that will affect the interest rates. So this is big. This is big. If you just stay tuned for this, I appreciate it. Sorry about the lag there. So this is actual numbers. I did it myself just yesterday. So same. I always use the same example. $1 million home, 20% down. $1 million home, 20% down. I made a random number. Right now, apparently you can get things in the fives, maybe in the mid sixes in terms of the mortgage rate. Well, I made a mortgage rate of 6%. 6%. A 6%, $800,000 mortgage. You're paying just over $5,100 a month in terms of the mortgage. Okay. Now, same house, same mortgage, 0.5%. I didn't do a quarter like the bank did this month. I did like the bank that's done June this month and last month, so 0.5. To show you a specific thing. And again, this is why my updates are never clickbait. Maybe I don't get enough views. I could have done some clickbait or some doom and gloom stuff. The reality is this. Look at the difference. This is the difference in monthly mortgage of a 0.5 on an $800,000 mortgage, $1 million home. This to this. What is that? Just over $200? But $230 or so? The point is, that's not nothing. I understand that's not nothing. However, that is not a life-changing number. And I said from the beginning, if you're doing this from January like I did in my previous slide, yes, absolutely, that's a very large increase. However, this right here, that's a $200 difference. A little over $200 difference. Here's my point. For anybody thinking that maybe this is going to finally slow down the market, no. And I'll tell you in terms of slowdown what that means, but that's a different subject I'm going to discuss shortly. So the point is this. This is really important. It's not that big of a difference. This recently. Compiled from last year, of course, it's a huge difference. But if you're purchasing now, or you're thinking of purchasing, and now you're looking, the interest rates are higher. No, it's not hitting you that much. And I know that's going to be different depending on what kind of mortgage you have. But the point is, on this $800,000 mortgage, very normal for a Toronto property, a small Toronto property at that probably, you're looking at just over $200 difference. Not huge. Keep that in mind. It's not life-changing. Maybe don't change your plans necessarily. Okay, this is big. This is what's actually happening in the market. This is really, really important because one of the things I'll mention to you right now is that oftentimes Bank of Canada or people looking to slow down the market, they'll start selling I've already seen it, selling sales slump, sales fall. Guys, every normal year from this year back to however many decades ago, in the summer, things slow down. So therefore, the numbers in July and August are always lower than even June or June-ish, or certainly May and April and March when it's the spring market. That happens every year. They call it a spring market. They don't call it a summer market. You notice? There's a spring market and a fall market. No one says summer market. They just say summer because it's summer and people aren't buying and selling nearly as much. Now, it's GTA, so we're still selling maybe 2/3 of what we were in the spring market. The point is, sales will always slump. Now, notice what happened here. Bank of Canada, 2 changes. What can they say? Oh, look at that. we slowed down the market. No, you didn't. It was a summer. It happens every year. But they'll say it like they did it and they'll take credit for it. I've already seen it. So take note of that. I think last month I was saying, this month they're going to start saying, oh, wait, look, it's working. We're slowing down the market. No, it isn't. It's summer. Summer's done every year, with the exception of crazy years like 2020, the first year of the pandemic. So let's look at the market right now. Notice this, June 2023 versus June 2022. So this is year over year. This is the important numbers here. Homes sold up 16.5%. Very normal. June of last year, we were still kind of figuring out what the heck was going on because that's when the interest rates really started ramping up. Average price, this is big. Average price, June last month versus last year, up already 3%. So what is the trajectory? As I've shown month after month this year, since probably January, February, trajectory has been upwards. Buyers take note. January, February, I was saying, guys, you have to buy. In December of last year, I was saying, guys, you got to get in the market. Trust me, this is the time to go in. A lot of people didn't listen. Now, I'm going to be telling you the same thing right now this summer. Notice new listings, but the same. 3% is not a big deal. So active listings, certainly lower. You're looking at 12% difference. So clearly, prices are up, sales are up, active listings are down. We need more listings. So what does that mean? That means there are still not enough listings for the demand, hence the increased sales. Notice even condos are down, only minimally, minus 1%. Again, condos are such a value. I mean, there's from a one bedroom to a 3 bedroom, there's a big difference in price. But overall, notice the pattern, up. And that's an average. It's area dependent as well, but this is average GTA wide. So this is really, really big because not only average prices are up, detached are up. Detached were taking a big hit for a while. They're up 5%, semis 8%, townhouses 5%, and condos are still down 1%. But again, take that with a grain of salt. So the point is, prices are going upwards. Buyers take note. Notice here. New listings, not that high. Active listings, a lot. Prices, month over month. This is month over month, May to June. Prices are still going up slowly, minus 1.58. That's because detached are very, very varied in price, much like condos. So here's the thing. You got to take note of, if you're a buyer, like I don't know how to barely explain this. Listings are higher. Inventory is high. Sales are slowing down because it's summer, and prices are slowly creeping up. So the prices are going up, inventory is high, you got some solution, and competition is minimal. Now is the time to take advantage before the fall market begins and things get a lot more crazy, a lot more demand, more competition, and prices are still going up. So whatever you think of interest rates, whether they stay the same or might even go up again, regardless, even if they go down a little bit, that's going to only create more competition. So right now in July and August of 2023, you have a chance, buyers. You have a chance to actually get into the market, have minimal competition by GTA standards, and have increased inventory. So people are saying, oh, there's nothing in the market. This is the highest inventory right now that we've had all year. We're approximately, I think, around 15,500 active listings. Notice active listings about 16,000 here. So already starting to come down a little bit. So we're right there towards the peak and slumping down slowly towards the end of July into August. So buyers, I don't know how else to explain to you. This is the time to do it before this September, mid-September, fall market begins again. Trend. I just wanted to show this in terms of trend. I know Pickering's down 1.84. Again, take it with a grain of salt. It's only a month in terms of different houses selling. But the general trend, up. In some places already popping up quite high. The point being, the trend is upwards. Guys, take note. Homeowners, take courage, or be encouraged that your equity is going back up again. Active listings. Notice active listings here. We're nowhere near where we were, say, what was it? What year is this? 2019. 2019, the last normal year pre-pandemic. This is where the inventory was. We're low, but notice please here, July, August. 2020, disregard, was a crazy year because that's the year of the pandemic when everything was a record sale month after month, even after the CMHC saying the market's going to drop and fall and break and everything else, which of course didn't happen. But notice, July and August, active listings drop. Listings drop. We sell more than we list. Buyers take note. This high inventory is not going to last. New listings important. Black is 2023, our year. So not very high, but slowly getting up there. So we're not listing that much. So again, this is a temporary moment for buyers right now. There's higher inventory. There's not that much coming into the market because it's the summer. And prices are slowly going up. Got to get in there. Average sales price. This is a biggie. Notice, please. We're in the black here. But with the exception of 2020, forget 2020. That was a very crazy year. It didn't make sense for many reasons. Notice the slump in average price. Notice July and August. Why? Because there's less competition. It's not that prices go down, just there's less competition. You're not fighting with as many people. So buyers, again, take note. Sellers, if you're buying and selling in the same market, it doesn't matter because you'll buy if you sell lower than you would maybe in the spring market. Sometimes, not really, because you notice month after month the prices are going up. If you sell lower, you still buy lower. So the point is that doesn't matter nearly as much. Now, the other thing is if you think, oh, you know what, Andrew, we're going to wait. Interest rates might go up again. It's just too much. I'm going to wait for the market to come down. I've shown you that the market is not coming down. I mean, sweet heavens, at this point, if it hasn't come down, it won't. But you're going to rent. Okay, well, here's what's happening with rent. This is nuts. Bachelor apartments, this is year-over-year change. Up 16%, one bedroom 15%, 9%, 15%. I mean, you're looking at townhouses, up 20% almost. Up 8%, up 5%. I mean, this is crazy. This is insane. And look at the average rent. I mean, sweet heavens. Once you get up to somewhere where you have 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, if you're a couple or have family, I mean, you're earning $2,600, $3,000. I mean, this is not cheap. And rent is going up because, again, people do rent. It's a GTA. It's a reality of life. So if you're thinking of buying and maybe putting it off because you're thinking something weird is going to happen with the market, please believe me. Not going to be easy for the renters. So quick summary. Let me move up here real quick. So buyers, honestly, you got a great opportunity right now. Amazing opportunity. Why? Highest inventory of all of 2023. Basically, that's kind of where we are. Maybe last week, this week, that kind of thing. And you have less competition. Yes, some places are still selling multiple offers, but a lot less than maybe even half of the listings that are hitting the market. You have an opportunity here. Sellers in the summer are serious and motivated. You know that because they're still on the market. Prices go up monthly. You've seen it. On a general basis, the trajectory is upward. So no time like the present. The more you wait, the more expensive the house is getting. And who knows what will happen with interest rates. Even if they go down later, they're not going to go down much. Those 2%, 1.5%, those days are over. To the best of my knowledge, probably for a very long time. Maybe not in our lifetimes. So, bonus, if you're working with me, I always mention this, especially this summer. Off-market stuff, coming soon. If you were even thinking of maybe getting a condo, I have literally dozens upon dozens of assignments of people who simply want to get rid of the condo they bought pre-construction because they don't want to take it anymore, or because they don't want to take on this kind of interest rate. So you may actually get something at cost that they bought maybe a year or two ago. Think about that versus resale. I have availability, I have access to that. Let me know. So sellers, demand is solid and prices are rising. You've seen it. Don't be discouraged, certainly, by anything that I said in terms of the buyer side for the summer. Selling and buying in the same market makes timing much, much easier. So focus on the next step. Don't focus on trying to time it just right, like a Warren Buffett situation. No. Know the numbers. Know what you want to do. I want to move. Okay, where to? How many days in the market do things last there? How many days in the market do things last in my area? Know those numbers. I can find that out for you. And then make the decision. Oh, Andrew, we don't want to sell in the summer. Well, it doesn't matter. If that's when you want to do it, you're not going to time it best. Remember, buy high, sell high. Sell low, buy low. It's very difficult to time it otherwise. And why bother? Why all the add the extra stress? Move within the plans for your life. If you're ready, if you're a buyer, get in the market. I'm telling you right now. So, Andrew the Realtor, as always, trying to provide information. Guys, contact me if you have questions. Hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I give information. Again, no clickbait, nothing crazy, no doom and gloom. I'm not saying everything's whoop-de-doo and happy. You've seen how expensive things are, especially with the higher interest rates. But guys, the opportunity is out there. This is the GTA. In the GTA, real estate is not king, but queen maybe. Certainly in the royal family. Very important. So stay tuned. August, I will see you guys. If you have any questions, you know where to contact me. Take care.